Hello, Thriving Phoenix. How are you? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. So, my question for you today is, have you started to feel a small stirring inside of you? So, we've been talking about moving from breakdown, from burn down, from tough loss and transitional moments as we go through what I call our Phoenix change moment, where we have an unexpected life occurrence that feels like and we can experience a burn down, a loss, maybe grief. So as you're traversing this and as we're going through this conversation, are you now at a point where maybe you're starting to feel a small stirring inside of you, a spark of possibility? Not a complete plan, not certainty, just a quiet thought that says, hey, maybe there is more for me than this. I know for me, it can look like and sound like I'm stuck, I have no place to go. I know this isn't me, I know this isn't what I want, but what's next? Maybe for you, it sounds like and looks like the desire to travel, to create, to reconnect with old friends, to try something new, or just simply to feel more like yourself again. I know for me, I really enjoy reconnecting with old friends. I enjoy travel. I enjoy just the process of creation and ideation and exploration, coming up with new ideas. So maybe that sounds like you. If you felt like you've even had the smallest spark of hope returning, I want you to know this. You do not have to have your future figured out. You only need to notice what is calling you forward. So welcome once again to Rising Phoenix with Rose. I'm Rose Mulroney, and I guide women in midlife through transition to honor what has changed, to reclaim who they are now, and to consciously create their next chapter with clarity, self-trust, and heart-led purpose. And this is part 3, as I mentioned, of our 5-week journey from loss to rising. So last week we talked about when the quiet gets too loud, and this week we are talking about the first spark of possibility that can emerge from that quiet. So, many women believe they need to know exactly what comes next before they can move forward. I know that's one that my brain plays that trick on me. They think they need a full vision, a 5-year plan, a clear purpose before they can make a change. But the truth is, reinvention rarely begins that way. Instead, it begins with something smaller. A moment when you feel lighter, a conversation that makes you feel alive, a memory of something you used to love, a thought that says, I wonder if I could do that. What would that actually look like? That is the first spark. It may feel fragile. You may dismiss it because it doesn't seem practical, it doesn't seem clear, it doesn't seem important enough. But the spark itself does matter. It's a sign that beneath the grief, uncertainty, the old rose, everything you have been carrying, there is still a part of you that wants to live fully. So in the Phoenix Change system, this is the beginning of the Visionizer. And the Visionizer does not have to have every answer. She knows that she simply begins to see that something new may be possible and that that's enough. For many women in midlife, this can feel difficult. You may have spent years being responsible, dependable, available. You may have been used to considering everyone else's needs, that you stopped asking yourself what you want. And when a desire begins to rise, guilt can rise with it. You may think, is it selfish to want more? Shouldn't I just be grateful? Is it too late for me? But I'm here to say wanting more joy, more meaning, more connection, creativity, peace, freedom does not mean that you're ungrateful. It doesn't mean that you're unrealistic. It doesn't mean that you're demanding. It means you're listening to yourself. And there is nothing selfish about reclaiming your life. You are not abandoning the woman that you used to be. She is the one who got you here. She carried you through what she needed to carry. But now you're allowed to become more than the roles that you've held. The phoenix does not rise by becoming who she was before. She rises renewed, carrying the wisdom of everything she has lived. And that's you, rising, thriving phoenix. So do you. So what do you do when you feel the first spark of possibility? You do not have to turn it into a major decision. In fact, I recommend you don't. You don't have to explain it to anyone. You don't have to know where it will lead. Simply follow it one step at a time. Maybe your spark is taking a class, calling a friend, writing again, visiting somewhere new, or exploring an idea you have quietly carried for years. The next right step does not need to be dramatic to be meaningful. Small, honest choices build self-trust. Every time you listen to what brings you alive, you remind yourself, my voice matters, my desires matter, my life is still mine to create. So, this week, ask yourself, what is quietly calling to me right now? And then choose one small way to honor the answer. Vision does not begin with certainty. It begins with willingness, and a willingness to honor that spark. So thank you for being here with me today. This is part 3 of our 5-week From Lost to Rising journey through the Phoenix Change archetypes. Next week, we're going to talk about moving from vision into direction and taking your next right step without rushing or abandoning yourself. So if you're curious where you are on this journey and you haven't yet already, I encourage you to take the Phoenix Change archetype quiz. This can be found at phoenixchangequiz.com, and you can also explore my entire program and system on Midlife Thriving Phoenix at midlifethrivingphoenix.com. And remember to share and like this video. Thriving Phoenix blessings.